Hey everyone, it's me, Tori, again. Let's get right into it with my advocacy plan. So, both of my areas of advocacy that I'm focusing on will address all of these issues, right? Safety and inclusive environments in schools. It's going to address discrimination in schools. It's going to discuss how these things impact the students, including inequities in the system, in the school system. Okay, and those two things that I've been focusing on are LGBTQIA plus youth in education and gender equity in education. Gender equity is important because gender inequities reinforce stereotypes. And a quote from UNICEF shows that girls perform as well as boys academically, but they have less confidence in their abilities, which can affect the outcome. So, policies that improve gender equity in education is Title IX, and Title IX kind of expands access to girls and women so that they can succeed and move on to the college level. And there are things that are just different in school systems where girls are underrepresented, especially in STEM fields. Okay, moving on to LGBTQ youth and education. There's so much I could say about this, and it's hard to whittle down to 5 minutes, but up here I have a lot of quotes from different organizations that I've researched that kind of back up my initial claims that LGBTQ students have higher rates of depression and anxiety. They have lower self-esteem. They don't find as many safe spaces within schools. There were a bunch of students who took surveys on the Trevor Project website, and that's how the Trevor Project was able to find more statistics as it relates realistically to students in schools recently. So I think that was pretty cool. And it shows that more than half of transgender or non-binary youth found their school to be gender affirming, and the schools that did not have that rate reported lower rates of mental illness. So there are lots of progressive policies that are moving us forward and in the right direction. One little step at a time. They just need a lot more representation. Okay, while there's so much more to be said, and I will continue to be an advocate for these issues and maybe make my thoughts more clear and concise, I have chosen this area of advocacy because I am part of this community, and so I want to offer representation. I want to offer support. I want to offer inclusive environments, and I want students to focus on academics. They should just be able to come to school, do their schoolwork like every other kid, and not have to worry about anything. So I want to help improve their self-confidence and create those spaces so that they feel accepted and not judged. So something close to me, an organization that I plan to try and work with, I'm having a hard time getting communication, but we'll figure that out, is the San Gabriel Valley LGBTQ Plus Center. And I want to work with them to help bring resources and training into schools near me. So I would promote the safe zone, as they call it, or allyship training for teachers and staff so they're prepared to support the students. Because sometimes it's just lack of education. So it'll impact the community. I'll help with training, or at least getting those training resources into the school, and yeah, should be good. Here's a bit more about this organization. Okay, this has a major impact on the future of education. We all remember what it was like being an elementary student, being a preteen, being a high schooler, and how much your environment affects your outcomes. So, and it also kind of affects how you develop and, you know, behaviorism and all that stuff. So when students feel unsafe or unsupported, it can negatively impact their mental health and their performance. On the other hand, when you have inclusive and affirming environments, it can lead to better engagement and success, ultimate success. So as a future educator, it's important to create equitable spaces for all students. Addressing these issues now can lead to long-term change. And not just for one individual, right? It's for the better of the future generations.